Everybody hear me all right? Should be another just 2 minutes for coach, and then we'll get started. Hey, coach, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. All right, we will get started here. Media members, if you guys want to raise your hand and then unmute yourselves, and we'll call on you. So we can go ahead and get started. Go ahead, Zach.
Cool. Thanks, Coach, for doing this.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you're going against a team that you kind of made a name for yourself at. I guess how excited are you to kind of match up with the school and a university that you have, and the whole staff at Baylor has a bunch of ties to?
I fully respect the team we're playing, the coaches that are there, the players that are there. Um, you know, I know that there's a bunch of talent at LSU. They have the ability to put a bunch of points on you in a hurry. I feel Nussmeier does a great job of identifying coverages and checking into the right plays and they've got guys that can win one-on-one matchups, inside and outside, and so just a real dangerous team. I think defensively, the pressure they present is a problem, and then I know there's a lot of pride and a lot of history that goes with that school, and so to be able to compete against all of that is something I know that everybody over here is looking forward to.
We'll go to Bryce next.
Dave, do you still have any connections there at LSU in terms of just, people that you coached with, or I guess it's been a few years now, but
Corey Raymond is there. So Corey was there and then he wasn't, and now he's back. And so I've got a lot of respect for Corey. I think he's one of the top, corners, DB coaches in the country. What he does recruiting wise, what he does as a mentor, what he does schematic and coaching wise, I think is as good as it gets. And so it'd be good to see him. Austin Thomas, I believe, is there. Austin was there or the early years when I was there. And Austin's in a GM type role. I'm not sure what his title is, but he's a great thinker and planner and organizer and everything. And so it'll be good to see all those guys.
We'll go to Jerry next.
Dave, going back to that bye week, was there any particular message, the first bye week, was there any particular message? You're 2-4. What was the message coming out of that week?
And looking back at that, I know that obviously there's been um, here lately a good amount of attention to that week. I think more than anything, there wasn't any panic. There wasn't any doubt. There wasn't any, you know, hey, we have to totally throw this away and do something new. There wasn't any, um, disbelief. I think that's the biggest thing. I think everybody knew um, at that time, I guess you could say right or wrong, everybody knew that we had ourselves a good team and that we had to do, X, Y, and Z better. And these are the steps that we've got to do to do that. And, I think if there was a key, it was that, is that everybody knew that we were a good team. And so that allowed you to stay together and really, so I think what was the next game was the Tech, and they were on a roll and looked really kind of formidable at the time. And so I just think the confidence going into that game um, was pretty strong, and it was built on the confidence going into the bye, the issues that were identified, the work that we did to address the issues, and so yeah, it helps when guys believe in themselves, they can believe in the team, and they can believe that good things are coming, even if it's kind of sight unseen at the time.
Go ahead, Zach.
Well, I got a couple here. We've seen a few players head to the transfer portal. Do you expect any more opt-outs for this game, or any players that are coming back to not play in this?
I imagine there's probably going to be some. I think number wise is always in, to get guys on your team. Um, Guys have to leave your team, and so I think there's guys that want to play more, and there's always the opportunity here, and love it, love it for it to be here, whether it's with Tayshawn or Cayenne or whoever. But that the guys have to be able to see that, and I think there is an element of, hey man, there's some good competition, there's some good depth. Not everybody can play. I think that can be looked at in a certain type of light. I think I would not be surprised if there's one or two or a couple more prior to the game.
And then kind of to follow up on that, how important is this game and the extra practices and everything that comes with making a bowl game to the players that are coming back and what you want to accomplish next year? How important is this game for next year?
Very important. Yeah, very important. I think, there's elements of the practice that we'll have that are going to be kind of foundational elements. There's going to be guys that are going to be getting reps that they probably weren't getting in the Kansas week, for example. And they're going to be getting a lot more reps, and they're going to be getting work at things that they need work at. And we've got ourselves a really good class of young guys coming in for January, and this allows some of the guys that are here now to get extra reps, to get them in a position to battle and compete for playing time with that class that's coming in, and so I think it's really important. And the not only what we can achieve in this game, but what our depth, if we can raise from a ready level of playing where maybe it's minimal, if we can raise that to a real adequate level with some of our guys that haven't played any, and you feel, hey man, if he gets in the game, we're good to go. I think that's such a huge strength, and we're gonna try give everything we got so that we can reach that type of level going into this game and then headed for next year.
We'll go to Bryce and then Jerry.
Dave, how much of a benefit is it, playing 3 hours from home, and what are just kind of the advantages maybe of just going down the road to Houston?
I think that is one, leaving on, after Christmas, they having the ability to do that and to leave in a mid morning and be there by the afternoon is pretty cool. I think the biggest thing for us is just the fans and to be able to hopefully energize enough people to where we can get a good crowd there. I know LSU considers Houston to be a major hub for their fans, and so to be able to get some people there to support the Bears would be really cool, and we're hoping that we can do that.
Dave, you've talked about the roster cuts that are coming, how that might affect the walk-on program. Can you talk about the emergence of Josh Cameron and how important he's been to this team?
Yeah, I think that, you know, within every walk on, within every team, within every you know, batch of walk-ons, there's a Josh Cameron in there, man. There's a story like his that's a possibility. It can, I mean, it's you know, I think um his ability to block on the perimeter, his ability to make plays, catches when it matters. He can make people miss. He can outrun guys, even though, speed wise, that, his numbers may not say it. All of that, though, pales in comparison to just the dude that he is off the field and how he leads when he's on the field. And so he is irreplaceable, you know? And so to have someone that gets it and that can do it, um, to have a guy that gets it and can do it is very rare. And so we've got one in Josh. It's a huge, huge asset for us.
You talked about Sawyer before, but can you talk about maybe at what point did you see him becoming the guy that he is now?
I thought in really when he took over the starting role. I think prior to that, it was I think his ability to believe in himself, and I think his confidence in himself really kind of shone once he took over the starting role. I think prior to that, there was a fair amount of proving and trying to earn and all this other thing. And I think he was battling himself at times, trying to force balls or make plays kind of happen when it wasn't there. And so just a total different kind of presence in the pocket, total difference command of the offense. And, he's just gotten better and better and better. And so I'm excited for him in this game. I'm excited for the matchup that it entails and just his motivation and confidence going into this game. I think it's going to be really strong.
Go ahead, David.
All right, thank you very much. Dave, besides the obvious, how important was it to stop the bleeding from the last end of 22 and how 23 finished and getting Baylor football back in a position of being more than just competitive?
I think a lot of that had to do with just really, really focusing on winning games. And, I think prior to that, a lot of my focus was on what was happening academically, what was happening off the field, how much hours are we putting into charity work? Um, are we getting any negative reports from professors? My efforts were really there. And a lot of the stuff that we would do, I take this in January, February, for an example. We would have, team meetings that all kind of tied into that weren't football. And the difference with this year, starting around more than a year ago now, was that everything was football. And so I always Smokey, I always hesitated to do that because I just uh I didn't I didn't want to get to where um I don't know, I feel like you're selling out to a degree. And um hey, that's just football wins at all costs and all that. But we did football from the very beginning and this, in January, February, and that's all we did. And I think I changed as a result of that. I know that our recruiting efforts reflected that, and you see the results, and so I think it's hard because you want to be able to measure the tenure here of the ups and downs, but really it's like a brand new tenure, this past year with just the focus and the efforts just on winning. So I think to win, um, it all has to be about winning. And I think that's the big difference.
All right, we got time for a couple more. We'll close with Bryce.
Dave, we talked to the players after the Kansas game and asked them about going bowling and where they would like to go, and pretty much they were like, wherever. But Bryson did mention that, it'd be cool to play an SEC team, if they got that opportunity. What was just sort of the reaction among the guys when y'all learned, it was the Texas Bowl, it was LSU? I mean, what's just kind of been the mindset?
They're excited about it. And yeah, I was talking with a couple guys this morning, just in particular, walking in, and we were talking about this very thing. And they're excited about the opportunity to play against a team that they respect, that scouts are going to want to look at in terms of eval. Right, it's an opportunity to put good play on tape versus a good opponent, and our guys are out hunting for respect, and so they see our opponent as a way to go and compete and fight and earn some respect. And so I think that's a strong motivation. It's pretty strong motivation right now.
Any last questions for Coach before we wrap up? I think we're all set. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dave.
Matt.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave.